So here we are back at part 2, and I've filled in the gaps for the British pound. We went along at 1.952, the price went up to 1.9707, so we start off with 27,000 and the margin account's gone up. We made a gross profit of 11,687.50. If you take $250 away from that, you get 11,437.50. And in our overall, I've now got a column for the pound margin account, and our wealth is now of course the sum of the yen margin account, the sum of the pound margin account, and the sum of the cash. Now we start off with 250,000. We put 27,000 in one, 27,000 in another, so we're down 54,000, and we put $250 in each, so that should come to 54,500, which gives us a cash position of 195,500. And because we never get any margin calls, the cash goes up, and it all tallies. Our total net profit is, you can see what we end up with in terms of wealth minus what we started off with, and our yen profit or loss comes from the yen calculations. Sorry, that should read the pound actually. I just changed those round. And everything tallies up. Now let's look at the short euro position now. So we go short, and we have to put in our margin account 2565. So it's 10 lots of 2565, and we have to pay a commission of 10 times by 25. So in our overall position, our cash is going to drop by, so that is what it is, minus the commission on the yen, minus the margin on the yen, minus the commission on the pound, minus the margin on the pound. Now it's going to go down by the commission on the euro and the margin on the euro. So it's going to drop even lower. But our wealth, of course, is going to now just include whatever's in the margin account from the euro. So our wealth just drops to 249,250, which is 30 contracts at $25 each. Now we go short, so it's a minus sign, minus the face value, 125,000 times by the change in price. We go short and the price goes up, so it's going to be a significant loss. And the margin account would drop to 7,400. Now the maintenance margin level on the euro is 1,900, so we need to get it up to 19,000 to cover 10 contracts. So that means we've got to find an additional amount of money. We've got to find, in this case, 11,600 to get it up to 19,000. And where does the 11,600 come from? It simply comes on the 26th of the 2nd. It comes from our cash. So it's minus what it was, but minus 11,600. So our margin account there is 1,900. The next day, we make another loss, 18,750. The margin account was what it was, plus the profit or loss on the day, so it's now just 250. So we've got to add up to that 18,750. And where does that 18,750 come from on this particular date? It comes from our cash. So margin account's now 1,900. Notice the cash has dropped there, and it's dropped there also. The next day it rises again, so we lose 11,875. So the margin account would have been what it was, plus the daily profit or loss. So it's down to 7,125, and we're going to have to add into it 11,875. And where does the 11,875 come from on the next day? It comes from here. Now the next day it drops slightly, so we make a small gain, and our margin account is what it was, plus the daily profit or loss. The next day it goes up slightly, so we lose a little bit, but because of the previous date it doesn't cause us any problems. Next day it goes up again, so we lose a little bit, but we're still above the 19,000. We lose 47,625 on this position. And in terms of our margin account, you can see where we've got those round figures there, 19,000, 19,000. That's where we had to top up. So you can see our total profit and loss for the euro. I can take from here, 47,625. So if we sum those together, profit or loss, our net would be our final wealth minus initial wealth. And if we took the net profit, which is the sum of the individual ones minus 500, sorry, should be, we add the commission in on the euro also, which is that, and you can see they all tally 17,437. So there's the end of part 2.